Alright, it looks like I'm live. How did I watch this before to make sure? Did I go to my channel? Boom! We in here, baby. Sick! Alright, what's up, guys? I'm a little bit early. I said 1 o'clock. It's 12:55-ish, but I always have issues getting my my live thing set up. So I pulled over here to get it set up. We're gonna ride into downtown now that it's set up. What's up, Michael? Maybe I should turn the volume down on my phone, that way you can't hear it. Looks good here, Gortok, Chad. Oh, what's up? Everybody's pouring in now. Yeah, so this is a nice little side street that I pulled over on. I was just saying a second ago that I always struggle setting up my lives. It never ends up working out. So I pulled over here a couple minutes early to get it set up. We're going to head right downtown. It'll take like 2 or 3 minutes. I'll be on here the whole time, obviously. And then once we get down there, we'll start answering some questions. I don't know why this car is backing up. But yeah, we're going to answer some questions. Sorry if my voice sounds like a 70-year-old chain smoker. I've been sick the past few days. Germany? Damn, that's crazy. But yeah, that's half of what prompted me to do a live video today. At the beginning of the year, let me put my visor down so we don't get wind noise. At the beginning of the year, I decided that I was going to post every single Sunday, and I was going to film either yesterday or the day before and upload it today, but I started feeling sick, and then it rained all day yesterday, so I was like, how can I do this on time? Why don't we do a live video? I haven't done a live video in a while, and I love them. Good morning from California. Good morning. So it's like 1 o'clock here, so in California it's what, like 10 a.m.? Does that sound right? What kind of phone holder do I have? I got a RAM mount. As I pull onto this like actual road, I should probably stop reading comments. Give me like 2 minutes and we'll be right in the heart of downtown, and I'm gonna pull over and start answering stuff for you guys. Got a little scooter behind us, little moped action. When I was stopped trying to set up my live, there was actually a guy and his girlfriend who walked over and started talking to me about it, so maybe they're watching right now, who knows. He was asking me about the bike, told me that his girlfriend wanted to get a, that moped just honked at the movers. Why is his horn that loud? That's insane. Anyway, he was saying that he likes like the Triumph Bonnevilles and stuff, and his girlfriend was looking to get a Ducati Scrambler. What bike do I ride? I'm on the Rebel 1100 right now. I also have the Grom, but I keep slacking, and the Grom still isn't inspected, so I didn't want to take that out. Plus, you guys like the Rebel better anyway. It is, it's popping off down here today, by the way. There was super traffic as I was trying to come in here, so I had to go all these back roads, and I'm like, dude, I'm not gonna make it on time. There's traffic. I can't figure out how to set it up. This guy's on his phone. Come on. Okay. All right, here we are, Ego Alley. I'm sure you've heard me talk about it before if you've watched the channel, but yeah, this is Ego Alley. Everybody takes their fancy boats down here to flex their egos. That's that I go to. Got a street performer set up right there. We're gonna see if there's any cars from Cars and Coffee left down here. I don't know how big Cars and Coffee was today, because they also shut down West Street for a Corvette show. So everybody may be further up in Annapolis checking out the Corvettes, but we'll see. It's taken everything in me not to pass this person. And normally if I pass them, I can cut it out of my video so you guys don't think that I'm a D-bag rider, but when I'm live, you guys see it all. So looks like it's getting a little glitchy. Hopefully it will stop being like that as I get down by the water. when I go live, it's this weird thing where I have to like use the Wi-Fi hotspot on my phone, connected to the camera, then connected back to my phone, then connected to YouTube, and all kinds of weird stuff. Let's go, dude. Got a line for the boat tour. Yay. Got a C8 Corvette down here. Got a Jaguar. Nice, nice, nice. Okay, I'm gonna pull up over here where I always pull up and hope that this natural resources cop doesn't give me a hard time, and then we'll start answering some questions. Also, my gas is almost out, so I can't be riding around all over the place. Okay, pop that open and let's see what we're working with.
Staying with the bike?
What's that?
Are you staying with it?
No, I'm just sitting here.
Okay.
Oh, you mean staying with it? Yeah, I'm doing a YouTube live video, so I just pulled over to check comments.
Yeah, I was like, look, you do have, you're trying to park. There's a motorcycle parking right next to that building over there with the business center.
Yeah.
It's over there and all that other stuff, so that's pretty much it.
No, I appreciate it. I'm not going to like leave it or anything like that. Thank you, man. Alright, let's check out the comments and see what we're working with. Hi from Hong Kong. That's crazy, dude. Hi from England. That's crazy. I love seeing people from all over the place. How many people are on here? Can I see? 44? That's what's up. That's what's up. Alright, let's catch up on stuff real quick. Cameron just got his 1100 3 days ago. That's freaking awesome. Congrats. You're going to love it. Chad, your phone always overheats and shuts off. See, I haven't had that issue. I've had it when I'm like sitting still working on my bike or something, but I haven't had that issue like when I'm moving because all the air flows past it. Oh yeah, you're in Florida? Yeah, that'll do it. Sir rant a lot, I'd pass him, no worries. Yeah, so would I, but all these haters on YouTube, dude. Yeah, that was my sick voice. I don't know if you heard that. Haters. GoPro Max to play with. I have not played with a GoPro Max yet, but I would like to. I used to have an Insta360 1X, and that was super cool. It was a little bit hard to edit everything though, so I don't know if GoPro would be easier or not. Hi from Ukraine. Dude, people are here from everywhere. Jack God is in Annapolis too. Oh dude, come down here. I don't have any stickers on me, but you can come say what's up. Alright, so let's go straight into some of the Patreon questions. Patreon members get their questions answered first. If you want to join my Patreon, check out patreon.com/lifeofbirch. Got all kinds of different perks and bonuses to it. Thank you so much to everybody who's already on there. We'll start off with Fran Schrader. See, this is what I was saying also about, like, if you're going to be successful at something, you just got to not care what people think of you. I'm sitting here talking to myself like a idiot as people walk by. Anyway, Fran Schrader, maybe you have mentioned it before, but what do you do for work? Oh, crap. Where did it go? Alright, so Fran Schrader wanted to know what I do for work. I've mentioned it in one of my videos before, briefly, and I'm not going to say exactly where I work, but I'll tell you what I do. I work in a restaurant currently. It's a local restaurant, and me trying to hide it is useless because A, I've mentioned that I work in a restaurant before, but also twice in the past week there has been somebody who recognized me off of everything. Oh, what's up, Quasi-Motard? Congrats again on the channel success. Thanks, man. I appreciate it. I'm just trying to be as cool as you, honestly. Oh. You guys hear that horn? That's the tour boat getting ready to leave. But anyway, so I've mentioned it in my videos before, and I work in a restaurant. I work in a local restaurant. I won't say which one, but 2 people in the past week have come in. I greeted a table the other day. I'm just a server. I greeted a table, and I'm like, hey, what's going on? My name's Mike. And the guy's like, is that your bike out there? Are you Life of Birch? I'm like, yeah. He's like, dude, I follow you on Instagram. And then another time, 2 days ago, my friends came into work and they're like, yeah, we got a picture of somebody looking at your bike out there. And it was somebody that, like, one of those things where, like, I follow him on Instagram and he follows me, but I've never said hi to him, and, like, I was too busy at work to do it, so it was just kind of weird. But yeah, so I work in a restaurant as a server. Before I started doing that, I was in real estate for 2 years, but honestly, I hated it. And before that, I was a restaurant manager for 5 years. When I got back into restaurants, I wanted to just be a server, though, so I had more freedom to do YouTube and not have to work 60-hour weeks as a manager. And where I'm at, I freaking love it, and I only have to work 3 or 4 days a week and make enough money to support myself and still be able to do cool stuff like this. So yeah, I love it. A bird pooped on my bike, and I just realized that some of it got down here also, so that's super tight. Okay, so next Patreon question. So the next one was actually from my mom. We'll skip my mom's and come back to that one. So Cameron Smith on Patreon, if you could buy any motorcycle, what would you buy? That is so hard to say because there's so many different kinds of bikes. Like, I feel like I could buy one car and be fine, but motorcycles serve such different purposes that I don't know if I could pick just one. Honestly, if I were to pick one bike, it would probably, I know you guys like watch it because of the cruiser stuff, I'd probably get like a Ducati Panigale or something, Panigale, whatever it is, probably something like that, something just stupid fast, 6-sounding V4. I would probably do that, honestly. But ideally, instead of spending a bunch of money on one bike, I would probably do something. Okay, mom, sister, you see that I'm doing a live video, you can't be texting me. Anyway, I would probably, I'm too ADD. Ideally, I would have something like the Rebel. I'd have a sport bike, I'd have the Grom, and I'd have a sport. I'd rather have like used bikes that cost less and be able to have each of those little niches than just spend all my money on just one bike. Let's see, Mike Rivera. Thanks, Birch. Thanks to you, I got my 1100 and love it. Best bike ever. Dude, you are the man. I'm glad you like it. Kevin L. Anyone know of a dealership in Maryland with these in stock? I haven't had any luck. Yes, there is a guy who is selling his in Western Maryland right now. Join the group Rebel 1100 World. I'm an admin in there on Facebook, and his name is Jarrett McCarty, something like that. He's selling his bike in Western Maryland. It's used, but it's easier. Alright, so let's see. Now that my mom texted me, let's jump to her question. Wouldn't that be funny if she was texting me like, I saw you skip my question? Alright, so she said, what are the pros and cons of a sissy bar versus grip seat? Because I was talking about getting a sissy bar for this to make it easier to take Nina on it and things like that. So I'd say sissy bar pros are the fact that it's in there, like it's attached to the bike, and if somebody slides back, they're not going anywhere. It's nice and firm. That sounded weird, but you know, like they're locked in there. The cons to it is sometimes the look, like they don't look that good. Like I'd rather just have the bike with nothing on it. And then the con also is that even though you can slide into the sissy bar and be locked in, it's still not the same as having a seat that's actually grippy to where the person isn't sliding around. So I'd say, but also I'd say a bonus is that if it's tall enough, you can, like I want to get a taller sissy bar so I can attach like camping gear to it and stuff like that to make traveling easier. Quasi Motard, do I plan to add saddlebags, and if so, will the exhaust interfere? That's kind of a loaded question. So I don't personally like the look of saddlebags, especially big saddlebags on a bike like this. If it was like a full-blown bagger, like a big Harley, I could see it. But I do want saddlebags to at least help transport stuff. So I looked into Thrash and Supply. They have a bag called the Essentials bag. And it's one of the ones that just goes over the fender and still has little mounts here. It's just like a fabric bag. It's like waterproof for the most part. The inside is orange, which matches the Life of Birch stuff. And it's just small enough that each side fits like a 6-pack of beer essentially. So I was supposed to call them like a month ago to talk to them, and I've just keep forgetting to figure out if it'll fit. I think it should fit without interfering because of the size of it. Like, the size of it is slightly smaller than the smallest Honda bag, but it sits up a little bit higher and you can kind of control where it sits. So I think it should work without interfering with that. But with that said, Two Brothers is also in the process of developing an exhaust that isn't upswept. It's going to go straight back, and it's designed to work with saddlebags. And they've reached out to me asking me if I want one of those once they're ready so that I can do it. But I don't want to waste their resources taking another exhaust from them if I'm not going to end up running saddlebags. So it's kind of a two-part answer. I need to find saddlebags that I like and that look good, and then if that happens, then I'll probably get the new Two Brothers to put on to make it work. But at the same time, I still want to get the Thrash and Supply just to see if it will work with the upswept exhaust, because personally I like the upswept look. Okay, yeah, so okay, somebody's being inappropriate about Nina already. What the hell? So anyway, I'll get back to show us a rear view from the right side to show the exhaust clearance. Alright, I'll do a quick little like walk around. So you see the exhaust, come around, and you can see it doesn't stick out as far from the bike as the TR exhaust for the 5. I feel it's like nice and close to the shock, but you're not going to worry about it hitting it or anything like that. It's probably a little distorted because of the GoPro, but you can see it doesn't stick out even as far as like the foot pegs or anything like that, so it's tucked in there real nice. And then height wise, it comes up, like you can see the top of the foot peg like isn't even as high as the exhaust. So I feel like the thrashing bags should fit in there nice. It's just a matter of getting them and trying it. Aneurysm, just realized you were live. What's up? $4.99. Is there a way that people can send me money on here? What is going on? Is that what just happened? Thank you. The heck? They just bought me a cup of coffee before work. Yeah. Kaufman sent a new exhaust. Yeah, so Kaufman's reached out to me too, and I like their new exhaust. Personally, I still like the look of Two Brothers, and I just responded to him like, listen, I'm already working with Two Brothers. I appreciate it. Like, I like what they're doing, but I'm a Two Brothers guy, you know what I mean? But I'm stoked to see how the new Kaufman's like actually looks on a bike. All right, let's go to the last Patreon question. So this is like a 19-part question. This one is from Mr. Codemaster00, and I'm kind of just going to wrap all of his into one answer. So the one question was, what other mods, if any, are you planning to do to the Rebel 1100? He also said, I know you like orange. Have you / will you consider going and getting the 1100 painted or wrapped orange? Then he asked about a speedo healer on the Rebel to try and get the speed limiter deactivated. He asked about a windscreen on it. He asked about saddlebags, which I already kind of touched on the saddlebags. And he asked about a fender eliminator for the 1100. And then he also asked, is there anything I'm going to do to the bike to make it more scream birch and make it more unique to me and stand out? So I feel like all that kind of falls into the category of like what I'm going to do with the bike. So I will I keep going on my hotspot, so I'll answer that as best as I can. So essentially, what donations are on the super chat? Bruh, I just got another $3 and another $5. I love you guys. I didn't even know that this is a thing. I should go live more often. Maybe Nina's down here somewhere. Maybe I'll use it to buy her a cup of coffee. Yeah, so as far as modifications go, I did have the orange 500, and that's kind of a loud color. Me as a person, I prefer just streamline. Like right now I'm wearing white shoes, jeans, and a black t-shirt. Like that's pretty much all I wear ever. I like just very basic, like less is more kind of thing. So I don't plan on doing anything crazy with this bike as far as like custom modifications and stuff like that. I would potentially like to paint it orange at some point, but I'm waiting on that, A, because I'm broke, and B, because I just need to figure out what I want to do. Like with the 500, the tank was orange and then the fenders were black. I want to figure out a color scheme of like in orange that will look good but not be too obnoxious, and figure out if it'll look good on the tank and both fenders and what other accents I want to do. The other part of me has thought about just doing, like, keeping it this color and then getting a 2-up seat that's brown. Saddlebags, I kind of touched on that. Fender eliminator, I don't think it looks too bad, but I have thought about just chopping it off here and mounting the license plate up here so that it's kind of cleaner. Windscreen, I definitely plan on getting a windscreen. I'm waiting to see what Burley Brands does with theirs. They have a windscreen that I really like, and they're coming out with a full Rebel 1100 line, I think October-ish. So I'm definitely waiting on that to get a windscreen. I'm going to do bar risers once they come out with something for that. My main thing is I definitely want to... Dude, you guys keep sending me money. I don't need it, but thank you so much. I was not expecting that, dude. You guys are freaking awesome. Yeah, so my thing is, part of me wants to be the first person to do mods like that on this bike so that, like, I get the views and you guys can see what's possible with this bike. The other part of me, like I said, is broke, so I can't just be, like, impulsively buying mods for this bike the second they become available, because I don't want to be like, oh, like with the Vance & Hines exhaust. The Two Brothers exhaust is so much better than the Vance & Hines, in my opinion, and as soon as Vance & Hines came out with it, I was like, oh, I need that. And then Two Brothers came out, and I was like, oh, I need that. Like, I don't want to keep just throwing money at it, not knowing what parts are going to come out, and, like, wasting money. Look at that, like, highlighter yellow C8 Corvette, dude. Oh, it's a Stingray. That is sick. It's like the yellow off of the Rebel 500. So, yeah, I guess the short version is there will be a windscreen, there will be bar risers, there's going to be a new seat at some point. I remember somebody in my Instagram questions asking about a new seat. I want to upgrade the seat. It's just the same thing as, like, I don't want to keep buying parts not knowing what I want, because I want just a 2-up seat. I really want, like, the Saddlemen step-up, but nobody offers anything that looks like that yet, and Saddlemen's been kind of, like, on the fence as to whether they're going to make it or when they're going to make it, so... would love to hear your opinion on the sissy bar for the Passenger, or a video in a few weeks. So I was talking about the sissy bar a little bit earlier. I don't like the sissy bar that Honda offers because it's too short. It only comes up to, like, here, and for the price, I feel like it just doesn't do much. It doesn't look good. I do want to get a taller sissy bar. I just want to find, like, whether or not I want to get a 500 one and drill it out to make it work. Because on this is 6.5 inch difference, and on the 500 it's 7.5 inch difference, so you have to drill an extra hole. It's not a big deal, but I got to figure out if I want to do that or if I want to get a custom made one, because I want to have one that will lock the Passenger in but also is tall enough that I can put camping stuff attached to it, but it's not so tall that it looks obnoxious until I get a windscreen, because I feel like a sissy bar sticking up high before I get a windscreen or bar risers looks a little bit weird. So I do plan on getting one. It's just a matter of when it's going to happen and when I'll be able to make a video on it. Michael, how come you don't have a Bluetooth helmet? I just never needed it. I don't know. Now that I've been, like, taking Nina on the bike a little bit, lots of people have said something about Bluetooth, and I've said something to her about possibly doing it. Not the helmet that I'm wearing, but my old helmet did have the built-in pocket for Bluetooth. Honestly, like, I never got it because I don't listen to music when I ride. I like to be fully aware of my surroundings and what's going on. And when I ride with friends, they always have Bluetooth, but I don't want to... Honestly, I just don't want to be distracted by them making fart jokes in my ear while we're mobbing down the highway at 100, you know what I mean? So, haven't really found the need to. Now that I've been taking a Passenger on more frequently, maybe it would be cool to do, but we'll see. Have I ridden a Shadow and compared it to the Rebel? No, I haven't, but I have ridden with a Shadow, and... just from the ride with the person on the Shadow, I could say personally it's not for me. He was literally scraping his pegs just going around traffic circles. Like, we'd be going around a traffic circle, my peg would be nowhere close to touching, and I was just on the Rebel 500, and he would go around the traffic circle, and you just hear and it would scare the crap out of me because he's scraping just going around a freaking traffic circle. So not really for me. The shadows, from what I understand, are a little bit heavier, so they might be a little bit more comfortable on the highway and things like that. It's just too much of like a classic look for me. The hell's going on here, dude? Oh my gosh, dude, so weird. Alright, let me jump over to some of the questions that got asked. What am I... Oh, okay, good. Let me just open up personal text messages while I'm on here. My uncle just got released from the hospital from his COVID stuff. That's awesome. Shout out Uncle Jim. Alright, let's go to some of the questions on that came up on Instagram. Let's cover the one about me donating sperm. Well, I already said it, so I guess it doesn't matter. Katie, yeah, just let me know. Anyway, best food in Edgewater from Kamikaze Machado 13. Is my phone overheating? Because it just got dark. Yeah, I think my phone's overheating. As I was just talking about that. So, best food in Edgewater. I don't eat in Edgewater a whole lot. But I'd say, here, let me turn this way so my phone's in a shadow. I'd say, no, this looks stupid because now you can't see the bike. Anyway, best food in Edgewater, I'd say Señor's Chili. They are a taco place that I went to in one of my videos, and they have a bangin', I could sit down right here, that way my phone is shaded, but you can still see the bike. Yeah, so Señor's Chili. They have super good burrito tacos, which are like the fried tacos with the sauce that you dip them in, and they have a really good, what is it called? Al Pastor margarita. So it's a margarita with pineapple and cilantro in there. Super freaking good. And I know it's a chain, but I also really like Glory Days. They have these really good cauliflower wings. Next question from Instagram. What do you think about the top end speed on the Rebel 1100? I think it sucks butt cheeks, honestly. Oh wait, who asked that question? That was Cannibal Canine. Yeah, I think it sucks butt cheeks. I think the top speed limiter sucks absolute left cheek and right cheek. Not that I need to go fast on a cruiser, but like, I want to be able to go fast, and more than the speed limiter, I hate that I still have the front end shake when I like get totally on it at high speeds. Like, I can cruise at 85 just fine, but if I'm at 85 and I open the throttle up all the way, the front end gets wobbly, and I don't want to feel like that. Sometimes I miss having my VFR 800 that could get up to 140 without even thinking about it and without batting an eye. But it also keeps me safe. I don't know. With that said, the second that there is any sort of reflash or anything that is deemed to be safe and still take the top speed off, I'm gonna be doing it. Yes, the Rebel 1100 needs a flash tune. It needs something, anything, man. Like, I just anything. I'd like to still, I don't know. It's still a little bit twitchy in like lower speeds, higher RPMs, if that makes sense, and then the top speed thing is just whack. Oh, my mom's here. Cauliflower wings, yum. Everybody knows that Uncle Jim is coming out of the hospital. Sorry I didn't respond, but that's awesome. That would be funny if that cop was in the chat right now. There has to be someone down here. I need to make a shirt that says, like, I'm live right now. Watch to see if you see yourself. Let's see. What other question should I answer? Oh, this one's a quick one to answer. Gilly Go-Go. Dude, I'm sweating to death. Just got a Rebel 500. What tips you got on shifting and knowing when to shift gears? It's a little bit tricky for me to answer that because I came from driving a manual car for years before I got a motorcycle. But the biggest thing for me is I see people posting online all the time talking about, hey, what RPM do you guys shift at? What mile per hour do you guys shift at? And questions like that are kind of silly to me. I understand the thought process behind it if you haven't driven a manual or something like that before, but my biggest thing is I feel for when I need to shift. I listen and I feel. You can feel when the power band is at the right spot. Sometimes you'll shift and when you get to the next gear there's not enough power and it bogs down. Other times you can feel that you're wringing out that gear way too much, and when you shift you probably should have shifted sooner. It's all about just like whatever situation you're in, feeling the bike and knowing what the power band in the next gear is going to do for you, if that makes sense. So I'd say it varies depending on back road riding, riding around town, going on the highway, it's going to vary, but the biggest thing is just being in touch with your bike and feeling when you need to shift. And that's half the reason why I like having a loud exhaust on the bike, is because I don't need to be like, you can feel it regardless, but when you have the exhaust, you can also hear when the bike is straining to a certain point, especially on something like the 500 where it doesn't have a tachometer and you have to do it by feel and sound. How do I like my coffee? It depends. So when I make coffee at my house, I have cinnamon, it's like cinnamon vanilla Keurig things. I'll make one of those, I put a little bit of honey in it, and then I use French vanilla almond milk creamer. If I go to Rise Up, I either get a cold brew with cream and vanilla flavor, or I get a cold brew with almond milk and cinnamon toast crunch flavor. Alright, what's another question on Instagram? Doing a photo shoot. Everybody does a photo shoot there. That's where they did the photo shoot in my last video. Okay, next page. Oh, I switch over to this meme. Left hand is steering, the other is gripping your thigh. People from the UK, and it's a cat with its arms crossed. I gotta be careful going through my camera roll on live, dude. Okay, let's see. Are you and Nina dating? So that's a good question. So I think it cut out there a little bit. Yeah, I feel like I felt it cut out there. Good question though. Hopefully you heard the answer. How do you build confidence as a... So Natashka Bear said, how do you build confidence as a new rider to take higher speed turns? Confidence comes from practice and getting better every time. So you're not going to have that confidence right off the bat, but for me, I feel like when you first start learning how to ride, when you're going out and practicing, you should go out with something in mind that you want to practice that day, and don't stop until you make progress. You don't need to make huge progress, but as long as you're making little progress every time, that's all that matters. Like when I first started riding, there was one hill that I'd stall out on all the time, and maybe progress for that day was only stalling out twice instead of 3 times. You know what I mean? It doesn't have to be any big steps or anything like that. Just get out there and make progress, and the more you make progress, the more confidence you'll have, and the more you'll realize, like, whoa, I can do this. This is easier than I thought. And then next thing you know, one day you'll blink and you'll be shredding back roads and not even remember how you got there. It's great. Let me switch back and see if there's any questions in here. Let me go. Yes, the 85 mile per hour front end shaking is definitely lame. I plan on taking it to a shop and having them actually dial in the suspension. I think I have the suspension dialed how I think is right for me, but I want to have a local shop like actually do tests and check it to make sure that it's tuned right for me, make sure that the wheels and tires are balanced and all that kind of good stuff, because I've heard some people saying that their front wheel was slightly out of balance from the factory and that had something to do with it. See, I don't agree totally with that. I'm assuming that this is in response to me talking about how you get more confident taking turns faster. Zach Cornelson said, find a buddy that rides better than you, then follow, watch, and learn. I see the point that you're trying to make, but that can also be pretty dangerous, because if you are already not confident and you have somebody that's better than you riding in front of you and you're instinctively trying to keep up with them, that can become dangerous because you're riding outside of your means. As weird as it is, they always say that the least experienced rider in the group should ride in the front. That way they're not feeling like pressure to ride outside of their abilities. If you have the best rider in the front of the group, then they're gonna want to go fast and it will feel natural to them, and the person who doesn't have as much experience in the back is going to be stressed the heck out trying to keep up, and that's when accidents happen. Now, if it's a better rider and they're in front of you and you go into it telling them, hey, this is what I want to do, like, don't push it, but be in front of me and show me the right technique, then that's one thing for sure. Few videos 0 to 60 and 60 to 0 times with the Draghi GPS meter. I'm interested to see how the manual compares. Ooh, that would be cool. Everybody gave me so much crap when I did the video talking about the top speed, because I did quote-unquote 0 to 60 runs, and I didn't intend it to actually be a 0 to 60 test. In my head, I had never ridden a throttle-by-wire bike before, so I didn't realize that it just affects the input as to how much the throttle's turned, if that makes sense. I thought that there was actually going to be a power difference, meaning that, like, I did a 0 to 60 with it all the way opened up to see what the power difference would be, not realizing that the only difference that the ride modes make is at partial throttle. And everyone's like, no, you did crappy 0 to 60s. I'm like, I wasn't doing a real 0 to 60. I just thought that it would show an obvious difference in power, and it didn't. Like, shut up. But yeah, I would love to get that and do like an actual 0 to 60 test. I could maybe even talk my buddy Amir into letting me use his DCT model so that we can like do a comparison with the same rider. That would be pretty awesome. Okay. Let's see. Next question. This question was asked by Nina. Are you going to take Nina to the taco spot? The people need to know. Yes. It's a date. This week, I'll take you. Next question by Nina. Did you call her dude in the latest video, or... Yeah, dude. I called you dude. I feel like some people don't understand my level of bro and East Coast slang, where, like, I'm a dude, she's a dude, he's a dude, everybody's a dude. Half the time I say dude, I'm just like, dude, that's crazy. As in, like, wow, that's crazy. But then people in the comments are like, Nina's a hot girl, and you're calling her dude. Like, no, dude. I'm just saying dude. Wouldn't changing the size of the cogs on your Rebel change the top speed? I guess maybe. I'm not entirely sure how to answer that. By cogs, he means sprockets. The thing is, I'm not entirely sure. I don't know enough about the bike yet to know, because the speed limiter it's not limited just because of the gearing. Like, it still has plenty more pull. It could go faster, but it's limited by the governor. So if I changed the sprockets, then technically I could get it to go past 100, but that's a lot of work for not addressing the root cause of the problem, which is just the computer. And then I don't know enough to know if it goes off of the wheel speed sensor and if that's related to the sprockets and all that kind of stuff. So there's a chance that you could switch out the sprockets and it'll just accelerate slower but not have a higher top speed, because it'll still know it's doing 100, if that makes sense. Quasi-Motard probably knows more about that than I do. I'm a wannabe. I just ride it and try to look cool and make funny videos. No, I'm just being surrounded by people as I'm talking about nothing. Somebody said Birch and Quasi meet up on the cards. Dude, I dropped the ball on that one. Quasi tried to make it happen, and I kind of misunderstood what was happening. If you guys don't watch his channel, you need to go over there now, because he does a lot cooler stuff than I do. He just took his little 125, essentially like moped, literally from Texas all the way up to Maine, and then from Maine over to California, and then from California back down to Texas. So he messaged me because he was going to be going from Texas to Maine. He was going to be passing through my area and wanted to meet up. And honestly, I put so much thought into trying to figure this out that I don't even think I ever ended up responding to him. But the time that he was passing through my area, I was actually going to be in Myrtle Beach with my family on vacation, and I was trying to figure out a way that I could leave vacation a couple days early to go meet up with him. And I just couldn't figure out a way to make it work, and I hadn't seen my family in a little while, so I figured that was kind of more important. No offense, Quasi. And in my head, I thought that his whole Cannonball run was going from Texas to Maine. And in my head, he was going to be coming back from Maine down to Texas along the same route, like a month or so later. And I was like, oh, dude, when he's coming home, I'll meet up with him. I didn't realize this crazy man was riding from Texas to Maine, and then from Maine to California, and then from California back down to Texas. So in my head, he was going to be passing back through the area. I didn't realize that he was such a madman, that he was actually doing thousands more miles than I thought. So I dropped the ball on that, but I would definitely love to do some sort of like Rebel 1100. Like, I feel like me and him are really the only ones on here that are doing consistent stuff with the 1100, so I think it would be sick to find a way to meet up. It's just a matter of figuring out how, because I'm a little baby and I'm definitely not riding this thing to Texas, so we'll see. I'll say confidently at some point in the future it'll happen, but how, when, or where, I don't know. We'll figure that part out. Okay. Mr. Quasi and Mr. Birch, then if there is no relative velocity, i.e. acceleration, then with such front-end float problem not exist. I'm not gonna lie, dude, I feel like I had a stroke reading that. I'm not sure what you're trying to say. If you guys are just joining the chat, I've been sick for the past 2 days, if you can't tell from my voice, and I just feel stupid in the brain, so I didn't even comprehend what you just said. Alright, let's go back to some Instagram questions. I should listen to you guys about wearing gear, because I'm burning up out here. Let's see. There were questions on my... Oh, I can't go to my YouTube questions because I'm live on here. There were questions that were answered or asked in the community group, and I'm trying to remember what it was. Somebody asked a question about a helmet. I think that was on Patreon, asking about new helmet standards and if I'm getting a new helmet and something like that. I actually am wearing a new helmet right now. You can't see it because it's on me, obviously, but up until like 2 months ago, I was just rocking a Bell Qualifier DLX, just like the entry model that still had the transition shield and blah, 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 blah. And right now I'm rocking a Bell Race Star DLX. And it has all the fancy features. It's like a $580 helmet, has the transitions lens, it has all the fancy stuff. It was super uncomfortable at first, but it's conforming to my head now, so I'm stoked on that. I literally almost returned it the first time that I wore it. But yeah, this is the nicest helmet that I've ever had as far as safety features and features in general. And it was a $580 helmet, and I got it for $250 because it had one single broken tab on it, even though it was brand new. They had it listed at $400, and I got drunk and got on eBay, and before I went to bed I offered them $250, and in the comments I just said please. And I woke up and my offer had been accepted, so I got it for $250 even though it's a $580 helmet, so that's sick. Hey, get better. You know what? I will. That's the kind of motivation I need in my life. You're sick? Just get better. You know, I will. I actually will. Quasi said, we'll corrupt you somehow. Moto camping is great. I would love to go moto camping. It's just the riding hundreds and thousands of miles to get to the camping that I'm nervous about. I'd love to go camping, though. Printer God said, I like potatoes. Do you? Dude, I am potato, okay? I love potato. I eat potato. I am potato. French fries, great. Sweet potato fries, great. Waffle fries, great. Potato chips, great. Roasted potatoes, great. Mashed potatoes, great. I love potatoes. All the potatoes. Does the manual version have the front wheel lock like the DCT version? No, it does not. So the reason for that is because we can leave it in first gear and the bike won't roll back and forth when it's a manual. When it's DCT, when you turn it off, it goes into neutral. That way when you start it up, it's not in gear and lurches forward. So when you turn the bike off when it's DCT, it turns off in neutral. So that's why you need the parking brakes so that it doesn't roll or anything like that. Now that I've had it for a while, is it really worth swapping the Rebel 500 for the 1100? Yes, 100%, without a doubt, without like no question about it. This is the best decision I've ever made. Now, I'm not saying that's the right decision for everybody, but I will say that before I got the Rebels, I only got my Rebel 300 and my Rebel 500 because I thought they looked cool. The first bike I ever rode was my VFR 750, so I was used to the power. I was used to all the fancy creature comforts. Like, that bike was over-engineered from the factory, so that bike had all the creature comforts. It was way faster, way more capable at everything than the Rebel 300 and the Rebel 500. The Rebel 300 was way too underpowered for me, but it was a blast to ride around downtown, whatever. But I had to switch from that to the 500 if I was going to keep the Rebel. I just couldn't handle the 300. So I got the 500, and I loved how light it was, and I loved that it was easier to take around town than the VFR was. But having the 500 as an only bike is not something I could ever do. It did not have the power that I needed. It didn't have the highway capabilities. It didn't have the suspension that I wanted. But I'm not the kind of like, I like going fast. Honestly, I like going fast. I like being stupid. So I just knew the 500 can never be an only bike for me. So that's why when I had the Rebel 300 and the Rebel 500, I always had either the VFR 750 or the VFR 800, so that I had my more capable bike that I could do whatever I wanted with it and go fast. The 1100 though, I don't need to have two bikes. This could be an only bike for me because it's so much more capable. And then now the Grom, I don't even feel like is a second bike because this handles everything I need it to, and then the Grom is just fun. When I had the Rebel 500 and the VFR, it was like, okay, one of them is for around town riding, one of them is for highway riding, blah, blah, blah. The Grom is just my fun bike. This can do everything that I need it to. I don't need to have the Grom. This can do everything. It's great around town. It has power for the highway. Now I'm in the way of this cop too. I'm going to get arrested. So yes, long story short, the upgrade was way, way worth it. It might vary on your situation, because if I was a new rider and I could find a Rebel 500 for $5,000 versus getting this for $10,000, then I think the 500 would be the obvious choice until you work up to where you need that power. For me, right off the bat, I had already been riding for 4 years. I don't even know how long I've been riding, but I've been riding for probably 4 years when I first got the Rebel 300 and then the Rebel 500. So I already knew how to ride. I already wanted power, and it just didn't have it. But it was a blast. This is a mix of both. It has the power, and it's a freaking blast. Camping on the Grom would be sweet. Yeah, I want to. I want to so bad. I've talked about this in a few of my videos, and I haven't given up hope. I just haven't found a good deal yet. I have an Acura TSX. It's really nice. I love it, and I want to quote-unquote downgrade to a Honda Element, because the Honda Element can fit 2 Groms inside the back of it. So I want to get an Element so that I can squeeze the Grom in there, put an air mattress, camping supplies, everything like that, so that if it's a trip that I don't want to take the Rebel that far, like if it's like, I don't know, 300 miles away, I might not want to go camping on the Rebel, but it would be easy to throw the Grom in the back of the Element with camping stuff, and then once I get there, use the Grom to ride around. So that would be sick. That's in the plans. When I get the Grom inspected, I do have dual sport tires to put on it. Oh, my throat's getting all nasty again. But yeah, I do have dual sport tires. Right now it has like the Michelin Power Commanders or whatever, so they're obviously street tires, but I got dual sport tires so I can do some off-roading on the Grom also. What else? I might have used the wrong term. I was not referring to the parking brake, but I don't know what the term is. I'm not sure. I don't know. If you think of what the term is, let me know. Parking brake is the only thing that I could think of that you'd be talking about. I miss Annapolis so much. Lived on Fairfax Road as a kid. I'm not sure where Fairfax Road is, but Annapolis is dope. I love it down here, and I always forget how cool it is. This is just like a normal day for me, coming down here, getting coffee, whatever, and I'll post a video and people are like, holy crap, where do you live? And it makes you realize, like, dang, I really do take this place for granted, you know what I mean? Birch, your vids gave me the final kick to buy my first motorcycle, CMX 500 2020. Words fail me to explain how thankful I am for bringing me there. Greetings from Hungary, Europe. Dude, see, stuff like that is why I do this. You are the freaking man, or whoa man, whatever, I'm not sure. But that is awesome. Like, that's why I do this. Seeing that I got people into riding is like, it's the best. Not to mention doing it all the way in Europe, like, that is incredible. Like, congrats on the bike. Hopefully you have plenty of safe miles and you get roped into loving it just as much as I do. Off of Forest Drive? Okay, yeah. Oh, okay, yeah, I know where that is. Forest Drive is right where I go to that taco spot. Nice, nice, nice. Damn, we got like 78 or 80 people in here. Sorrento-lot. You're making me want to drive down there now. You could do it, but I'm going to be leaving soon. I got to freaking go get ready for work, even though I'm all sick and gross feeling. Oh, that's a girl. That's a lady. That's a lady girl driving that. What? That's sick. That is sick. Yeah, if you guys are just now joining, they have a Corvette car show that's in Annapolis. So that's going on today. Oh, the 4 o'clock. Okay, 4 o'clock. Yes, there is still a 4 o'clock. So that's one of the annoying things about, like, the only cruisers I've had have been Rebels, so I don't know. But I prefer, like, with my VFRs and with my Grom, the 4 o'clock is up top with the ignition. So you turn it off and then you just keep turning it in the 4 o'clocks. With this, the 4 o'clock is here and the key is over here. So if you turn the bike off, then you have to turn the bars and then come around to the other side and do the 4 o'clock. And then if you're leaving and you forgot that you did the 4 o'clock and you start the bike up, now you got to turn the bike off, come undo the 4 o'clock, and then yada yada. So, like, yeah, don't steal my bike, but I don't ever use the 4 o'clock. For such a small town, they got crazy nice cars. Yes, that is right. I like Birch's video and Dr. Quasi's. Thanks, dude. Appreciate that. Alright, well, I feel like I have answered a bunch of questions, and I'm looking at my camera, and it's got 18%. So, I think I'm going to do a quick little lap through downtown to finish things off. I'm going to go ahead and say bye now, because I know that it's gonna die while I'm riding. So I want to make sure that I get my goodbyes in. Thank you so much. This has been the most successful live video that I've done so far. I've been trying to stick to consistent Sunday uploads, and I've been sick the past 2 days, and it's been raining, so I didn't get anything filmed. So I figured that this would be a cool way to get a Sunday video done, and it turned out a lot cooler than I thought it would. Not that I didn't think it was going to be cool, but I haven't done a live video in over a year, so I have so many more subscribers now. Like, before, I do a live video and it was like 15 of you, and at one point there were like almost 90 of us in here. So that is freaking crazy. And if you're anybody who sent me one of the donations, I didn't even know that was a thing you could do during a live video, so thank you for that. You guys bought me a cup of coffee before work, and if I... Actually, you know what? I probably won't see Nina before work today, but I'll take her on another ride and I'll buy her a cup of coffee from you guys. So thank you so much for coming in and asking questions. Let me know if this is something you guys would want to see me do, like, every month or something like that. Like, I think that would be cool. Little way to connect. Sometimes it's kind of hard to keep up with all the comments between YouTube and Instagram and just everything. So it might be a cool way to get on here and talk to you guys as close to face as possible. I got fuzz on my freaking thing. So, yeah. Let me know if that's something you want to see, and I'll make it happen. But like I said, I'm going to head out now and keep it rolling, and whenever it dies, it dies. So, thanks so much for watching, guys. Love you. Should I do, like, the typical, like, peace, and, like, cover it? I started wobbling because I was going to take my hand off and do the peace and cover the camera. Let's just hope this traffic doesn't last as long as you guys can see. You hear how good that sounds? Oh yeah! Boop boop. My mom just gave me $4.99. Dude, you don't need to do that. You're already one of my top tier Patreon members. Alright, what's everybody doing here? Y'all need to... I'm burning up out here, dog. Had to see how it worked. Well, I appreciate you testing it. If anybody else wants to test out how this whole money donation thing works, feel free to go ahead. I had no idea that it was even a thing. Peace out, comic biker. But yeah, I had no idea it was even a thing until I saw the first one come through, and then I'm like, what is happening? How are people sending me this? Look at all this traffic. I'm gonna go around it. They're wasting my time, bruh. I'm hungry. I got to go to work. Are you going straight or are you turning? Nina Nina, where are you? Nina's here. Wait! Where are you at, shorty? There's another highlight yellow C8, dude. That one looks even better than the other one. Nina, are you still downtown? People tipped me money on here. I'll buy you a coffee. I'm not broke anymore. Oh, my visor's up. I can't read that anymore. You guys hear how fucking sounds? My Lanta. Let me see. Go. Screw it. Here's this again. Look at how much it's popping off down here. Chat publicly as Life of Birch. Have a great day. Don't work too hard. Thanks, Sir Rantalot. I'll try not to, but it's 1,000,000 degrees outside and I gotta work outside, so please kill me. Dang it, dude. I need to stop freaking around. Got the mopeds out. Oh boy. Who's trying to ride? How do I make it go back? Lord have mercy. Okay, there we go. You can go ahead. Nina said stay there. Alright, Nina, it's too late. I'm already pulling on Main Street, but I'm gonna circle around. Meet me by Rise Up. I'm gonna pass all these people. Watch, that cop from earlier was actually watching my live stream and he's watching me do this, and now he's gonna come pull me over because he saw it. I'm gonna go through here. Actually, you guys want to see some secret action? I know all the shortcuts. Oh, but then we got a freaking Amazon driver. Okay. Alright, so this laps back around. That kid was taking a picture. I should be like, yo, if you got a sick pic of me on my bike, holler at your boy. Life of Birch official photog. See, nobody knows that Nina said stay here, so all these people think I'm just some idiot like circling around showing my bike off, which is halfway true actually. Bruh, I'm dying out here. And this person is just blocking the motorcycle parking. I'm just gonna pull in straight like that. Alright, well that was fun. I guess now that I'm waiting for her, anybody got one last question? My phone's at my camera's at 5%. I could get like 1 or 2 more questions answered. If it dies in the middle, I'm sorry. I love you.